Community elders Agba shot to death after delivering 1 million motorcycle and phones to kidnapper. Community elder Agba shot to death after delivering 1 million motorcycle and phones to kidnappers. Two dead injured in separate road crashes in Lagos. Two dead, two injured in separate road crashes in Lagos. Sokoto Army bombing. Governor Aliyu assured investigation. Sokoto Army bombing. Governor Aliyu assured investigation. Gunmen attack Old Oyo National Park. 5 killed. Gunmen attack Old Oyo National Park and 5 were killed. 5 National Park officers killed in bandit attack in Oyo, said Governor Makinde. 5 National Park officers killed in bandit attack in Oyo, said Governor Makinde. This from the Punch newspaper. Lassa fever killed 4, including pregnant women in Nasarawa State. Lassa fever killed 4, including pregnant women in Nasarawa State. This from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Meet the first person to go to prison in Nigeria in 2026 because forwarded private WhatsApp conversation. Meet the first person to go to prison in Nigeria in 2026 was jailed because he forwarded private WhatsApp conversation. Now the news in full details. Sokoto Army bombing. Governor Aliyu assures investigation. The governor of Sokoto State, Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto, has assured that he would remain in communication with the leadership of Nigerian Army to ensure a true investigation of the bombing incident. In a statement, Governor Aliyu assured that the state government would do everything within its power to support the affected community. He called for peace and prayed for the quick recovery of the injured. He consoled with the families that lost their loved ones. The statement read, "My dear people of Sokoto State, it is with a heavy heart that I address you following the tragic incident in the community in Gida Bizar and Rutuwa in the Salem local government area. This heartbreaking event, caused by an accidental misfire from the Nigerian Army, has claimed the lives of innocent citizens and left several others injured. As your governor, I am deeply saddened by the avoidable loss of lives. On behalf of the government and the people of Sokoto State, I extend my heartfelt condolence to the family who have lost their loved ones. We also pray for the swift recovery of those injured in the unfortunate incident. I want to assure you that I am in direct communication with the leadership of the Nigerian Army to ensure a true investigation into the circumstance that leads to the tragedy. The state government will do everything within its power to support the affected families and engage with the relevant authorities to prevent such occurrence in the future. This is a time for us to stand united as a community. I urge all residents to remain calm and pray for peace in our state and nation. May Almighty comfort the bereaved family and grant eternal rest to the departed soul. I visited the affected areas to assess the situation firsthand and have directed a donation of 20 million along with 100 bags of assorted food items to the family of the dead. This support is intended to alleviate their suffering and cover the medical bill of those hospitalized due to the injuries from the bombardment. Together, we will all overcome these difficult moments and work toward ensuring that such tragedy does not happen again. Government attack Old Oyo National Park, 5 killed. Government attack Old Oyo National Park, 5 were killed. Gunmen have reportedly launched an attack on the Old Oyo National Park situated in the Oke-Ogun geopolitical zone of Oyo State, with the unconfirmed report indicating that as of the time of filing this report on Wednesday, the exact number of casualties remains unknown. The public relations officers of Oyo State Police Command Olayinka Ayalade confirmed the incident in a statement made available to journalists on Wednesday afternoon, saying security forces were on their way to the scene to restore order. Yes, there was an attack by yet to be identified men against the men of the national park, Ayalade stated. According to the police spokesperson, CP Femi Haruna has deployed tactical teams, mobile police force officers of Nigerian Police Force (NPF) and explosive ordnance disposal (EOD) units to the affected areas to prevent a further breakdown of law and order. Ayalade added the Commission of Police, Oyo State Police Command, and other service chiefs are currently on their way to the location. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Oyo State Police Command (CP) Femi Haruna has deployed tactical teams, mobile police force officers of the NPF and EOD to affected areas to prevent further breakdown of law and order. Feared death as bandits storm National Park Service in Oyo. 5 feared death as bandits storm National Park Service office in Oyo. The bodies of the missing are yet to recover as they are believed to be located within the surrounding forest area. The attack that happened on Tuesday night leads to the death of 5 National Park Service officials. Police authorities in the southwest state confirmed the incident to Channel Television on Wednesday. Although the spokesman for the Oyo State Police Command, Ayalade Olayinka, confirmed the attack, he noted that security chiefs are currently en route to the affected area. Yes, there was an attack by yet to be identified men against the men of National Park. The Commissioner of Police, Oyo State Police Command, and other service chiefs are currently on their way to the location. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Oyo State Command, CP Femi Haruna, has deployed tactical teams, mobile police force. This from the Vanguard newspaper. The first person to go to prison in Nigeria 2026 jailed because forwarded private WhatsApp conversation. A Nigerian lawyer has cautioned Nigeria against forwarding private WhatsApp messages to other people. In a viral video, the lawyer said the person was sent to jail in a court session he attended after being convicted of forwarding private WhatsApp message to other person without seeking permission of the person he had conversation with. In his word, who would have thought the first person to go to the prison will be going to prison because he pressed forward on a WhatsApp conversation he has with a friend in 2025? You need to understand that the law does not rest in the courtroom or the law books. It shows up in our daily lives. You must understand that every private conversation you have with people through your device, whether via WhatsApp, email, TikTok or Snapchat, Instagram or what we have, is protected by law, including the conversation. The ones with family and friends, they are all protected by law. You cannot forward a private conversation you have with someone to a third party unless with the consent of that party. Simply because the conversation is on your phone doesn't mean you have the exclusive right to forward it or share it with a third party. Each conversation you have with people is protected by law. Forwarding someone's conversation with you without their consent is a violation of their right to privacy, he said. This is coming from the Daily Post newspaper. Lassa fever killed 4, including pregnant women in Nasarawa. Suspected Lassa fever has claimed the lives of 4 people, including 2 pregnant women in Awe local government area, Nasarawa State. Health workers, including the medical superintendent, have been isolated as a precautionary measure while the general hospital in Awe has been shut down. Malami Ahmed Yahuza Abdullahi, a disease survived officer, explained that the outbreak started when a woman was brought to a health facilities with symptoms suspected to be a Lassa fever and died before receiving treatment, saying that her husband later died without similar symptoms. According to Abdullahi, poor handling of suspected cases and lack of motorcycle for surveillance officers are major challenges. He said that none of the disease surveillance officers, according to 13 local government areas of Nasarawa State, has been provided with motorcycle by the government, which he allegedly is affecting prompt response to remote area. He explained that the state government sent an ambulance to Awe to convey 6 suspected cases for isolation in Lafia, saying that they were allowed to escape even before the laboratory test results were released. Health workers called for protective equipment to manage the outbreak, saying that a nurse at the Awe General Hospital stated that 2 women were brought to the hospital almost at the same time with symptoms resembling malaria. He said their condition deteriorated to bleeding and hemorrhage, which leads to their death. The health workers are said to be living in fear because they do not have protective equipment to manage the outbreak. The director of public health at the Nasarawa State Ministry of Health, Dr. Peter Atta, said that only 1 case of Nasarawa fever will record in Awe, saying the patient died before laboratory results were released. This is from the Daily Post newspaper. Pastor Chris Okafor finally surrenders to police. The Lagos State Police Command said the senior pastor of Mountain of Liberation and Miracle Ministry, Chris Okafor, has surrendered himself following allegations of multiple rape and other offence. The case has reportedly been handed over to the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 2, Sylvester Alabi. His surrender comes after he failed to honour a police invitation on Monday, despite being invited on Sunday by the State Criminal Investigation Department, panting over the allegation. Speaking during an interview on TVC on Wednesday, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police (CP) Olorundare Jimoh said when he was invited, he got to us through his lawyer that he would be appearing on Monday. So on Monday we waited for him, we didn't see him, and I directed that he should be arrested. Subsequently, he showed up yesterday, Tuesday. Yes, he showed up yesterday. Jimoh further explained that the matter has been transferred to Zone 2 for further investigation, addressing complaints from alleged victims. The CP says social media has become a veritable space for people to dodge their complaints. It will be recalled that the controversy started in middle December 2025 when multiple allegations against Okafor surfaced online. Nollywood actress Doris Ogala accused the pastor of a long-time sexual relationship dating back to 2017, claiming he broke promise of marriage, shares explicit consent, and contributed to collapse of her previous marriage. Following the growing public outcry, Okafor reportedly addressed his congregation on December 28, 2025, apologizing for past mistakes and kneeling at the pulpit to seek forgiveness. The Lagos State Police Command also assured the public that adequate security has been provided for the alleged victim, which investigation as SID, Panti, and Zone 2 are going. This is coming from the Punch newspaper. Police arrest man for defiling 8-year-old daughter in Bauchi. The Nigerian Police Force Bauchi State Police Command has disclosed the arrest of a 28-year-old man for criminal intimidation, assault, and raping his 8-year-old biological daughter. This was disclosed in a statement issued on Thursday by the Command Police Public Relations Officer Nafiu Habib. Habib explained that on 31 December 2025, one Befaji Mohammed reported at the Divisional Police Headquarters, Akaleri, that on 30 December 2025 at about 180 hours, one Bav Abba, age 28, same address as the complainant, lodged his biological daughter, named with head, age 8 years, into a bathroom and forcefully has carnal knowledge of her thoughts, both her vagina and anus, about 5 times in a single day against her. One receipt of the report, a team of detectives led by CSP Kadiri Dajuma DOP Akaleri swiftly visited the scene, moved the victim to General Hospital Akaleri for immediate medical attention, and arrested the suspect. The PPRO revealed that during interrogation, the suspected willing confessed to the crime without much ado. He said the Commissioner of Police Bauchi State Command Sani Omolori Aliu has ordered the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the state criminal investigation department to conduct a discreet and diligence associated with the case. Habib said the suspects would eventually be profiled and charged in the court for the established offense. Lagos named Africa most startup-friendly city in global index. The report notes that while Lagos already behaves like a global startup hub, its long-time standing will depend on how quickly infrastructure, regulation, and quality of life improve. Lagos State has been named Africa's most startup-friendly city in new global ranking by Multipolitical, underscoring the city's growing influence as the continent's leading hub for ventures-backed innovation. The ranking was released in Multipolitical Startup Friend Cities Index 2026, which assesses how attractive major cities around the world are founded, investors and innovators seeking environments that support the growth of high-impact startups. The Singapore headquartered International Mobility Platform said that the index evaluates cities using a two-stage methodology examining national conditions such as ventures, capital activities, due inclusiveness, and the presence of unicorn companies before comparing cities across key indicators including talent, attraction, startup density, digital connectivity, qualities of life, and business agility. The index uses a two-stage approach. First, it evaluates national conditions including ventures, capital activity, the inclusiveness of investment deal, and the number of unicorn companies. Secondly, it compares cities across 5 key areas: talent, attraction, startup activity, digital connectivity, quality of life, and business agility. The report provides data-driven insights into who makes city works up for startup, linking founder every experience with the broader system and support innovation. In a statement sent to Premium Times on Tuesday, the platform said that Lagos' strong startup ecosystem, growing investment opportunity, and expanding tech and creative sectors that makes Africa most dynamic center of entrepreneurship and innovation. The platform noted that with infrastructure improvements, clear regulation, and better urban living conditions, Lagos could leverage its current movements to achieve global competitiveness, similar to other leading innovation hubs. It also noted that Lagos has become a key symbol of African tech story, hosting thousands of early-stage companies, especially in fintech, as a base to develop scalable solutions. According to the report, Lagos scores highly in founder density, market size, and sector diversity, and already operates like a high-potential global city that is still in the early stage of growth. The executive partner at Multipolitical, Chi Okamba-Lama, said Lagos possesses a raw entrepreneurial energy needed to become African startup capital. Mrs. Okembala noted that the analysis review found that in Lagos are developing world-class solutions across finance, e-commerce, and digital infrastructure, often despite operating in resources-constrained conditions. She added that the president's structural gap in power supply, transportation, and broadband access mean many entrepreneurs are forced to innovate around system fragile. Lagos has a scale, urgency, and ingenuity that are very hard to replicate. It has the raw entrepreneurship energy to be African startup capital, and that the energy is increasingly being matched by ecosystem players who would build it around it, said Mrs. Okembala. She said Lagos could further enhance its attractiveness by investing in developers-friendly life work districts and by strengthening mobility, healthcare and housing infrastructure. She also noted the need for targeted visa and residence pathways that would enable founders and tech professionals from across Africa to come to Nigeria and build from Lagos. The admission of Lagosian entrepreneurship is unparalleled. Which matters now is how quickly the city can reduce friction for talent, investors, or operators. Lagos already behaves like a startup capital. Full global recognition will come as its infrastructure and governance catch up with its ambition, added Mrs. Okembala. Furthermore, Nicholas Michael, Group Head of Market Development at Multipolitical, said investors confident in African technology remain resilient. He noted that regulating VALTC in areas such as foreign exchange, fintech licensing, and digital assets continue to influence how capital is allocated between Lagos and other African cities and global hubs. The next phrase is not about whether Lagos can produce more unicorn. It's about whether the city can match its entrepreneurship firepower with the infrastructure, regulatory confidence, and quality of life needed for sustained innovation, said Mrs. Michael. He said Lagos and Nigeria could tip the balance in their favor by adopting more transparent regulatory roadmap, maintaining consistent sector-wide rules, and relying more on time-bound regulating sandboxes rather than sudden policy changes. This coming from the Guardian newspaper. Fear grips Abuja as nurse female lawyer found dead by roadside. The lifeless body of an Abuja-based female lawyer has been found along Kuba Expressway, heightening fears over the results of one chain attack in federal territory. Nigerian News reported that the latest development comes barely day after the body of a nurse with the Federal Medical Center JAPI was discovered by the roadside. It was reported that the nurse, Chinemere Chukwueze, a staff member of FMC JAPI, completed her afternoon shift on January 3, 2026 and boarded a commercial vehicle on her way home. However, she never made it to her destination. According to Punch newspaper, her body was later found dumped by the roadside under a circumstance that are yet to be fully explained by security agencies. While details surrounding Chukwueze's death are still emerging, the body of another woman identified as Princess Chigbo Maida, an Abuja-based lawyer believed to be a former treasurer of the Nigerian Bar Association Abuja branch, was discovered along the Kuba Expressway also. There are strong insinuations that midwives may also have fallen victims to suspected one-chance hoodlums who operate across major roads in the capital. A post on former Twitter exclaimed that the disgrace was found at a different location from the nurse, with documents suggesting she may have been a staff member of the FCT High Court. However, the media platform could not verify her employment status, as some staff members contacted at the court said they were unaware of the incident. The social media post, while including an image of the deceased and her identifier card, stated that her bag was disclosed a short distance from her body. The resident says fit the pattern of one chance attack where victims are robbed, assaulted and thrown out of the moving vehicle. Nigeria News reported that the resident of FCT has called the police and other security agencies to act swiftly and provide clear information on the incident. A civil servant based in Jabi, Ismail Umar, expressed concern over the lack of detailed official communication. In a normal society, the police would have commenced a true investigation and kept the public abreast of this progress, Umar said. Another resident agent urged the Ministry of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to pay closer attention to security matters. She acknowledged some improvements but insisted that gaps remain. How can someone finish work in the afternoon and be killed in such a manner without any official response? It is not acceptable in the city like Abuja. Daily Trust quoted that residents are saying earlier on Tuesday the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives condemned the killing of Chukwueze, describing it as an attack on healthcare workers across the country. In a statement signed by the chairman of FCT Council, James Medal, the association confirmed that the nurse was in active service at FMC Abuja. Having spent her day rendering herself service to humanity, she closed for her shift and boarded a vehicle. Tragically, she never made it home, the statement read. The association called the FMC administration to strengthen security around hospital, bus stop and major junction where healthcare workers board vehicle after work. The FCT Police Command has confirmed the incident, saying preliminary findings suggest as possible link to the activities of one chance gang within the capital. The Command Public Relations Officer SP Josephine Ade said on Wednesday the investigation were ongoing. She assured residents that efforts were being intensified to unravel the circumstances surrounding the death and bring the perpetrator to justice. Joint patrol teams has been observed stationed at strategic locations across the city within security operatives, stopping and checking unpainted vehicles, conveying passengers as part of measure to a corpse means. '66 international organization US withdrew from under Trump's order. The United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said the withdrawal of the United States from '66 international organization follows a comprehensive review by the President Donald Trump, administrator of what is described as wasteful and ineffective and harmful international institution. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in a Thursday press statement titled "Withdrawal from Wasteful, Ineffective or Harmful International Organization" issued on January 7, 2026. Rubio said the decision was taken in furtherance of Executive Order in 44 signed by President Donald J. Trump. Today, in furtherance of Executive Order 114, President Trump announced the withdrawal of the United States from 66 international organizations identified as part of the Trump administration review of wasteful, ineffective, and harmful international organizations, Rubio said. He added that the review process is ongoing. Review of additional international organizations pursuant to Executive Order 144 remains ongoing, the Secretary of State said. According to the statement, the Trump administration includes that the affected institutions no longer serve the interests of the United States. The Trump administration has found these institutions to be redundant in the scope, mismanaged, unnecessary, wasteful, poor run, captured by the interests of actors advancing their own agendas contrary in our own, or the threat to our nation, sovereignty, freedom, and general prosperity, Rubio asserted. Rubio said Trump has drawn a clear line on continued U.S. funding and participating in such body. President Donald Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio during a cabinet meeting in March. The Washington Post. President Trump is clear it is no longer acceptable to be sending these institutions the blood, sweat, and treasure of the American people with little to nothing to show up for it, he said. The day of billions of dollars in taxpayer money flowing to foreign interests at the expenses of our people are over, Rubio added. The Secretary of State said the United States will formally withdraw from the 66 organizations identifying under the review. As such, the United States will be withdrawing from the 66 organizations that can be found here, the statement said. Rubio said the administration viewed the current global institution system as having drifted from its organization purpose. As this list begins to demonstrate, what started as a primary framework of international organization for peace and cooperation has moved into spiraling of global governance, often dominated by progressive ideology and detached from national interests, he also said. The city's specific areas of concern, from DEI mandates to gender equity, campaign to climate, and many international organizations now serve a globalist project rooted in discredit fantasy of the end of history, Rubio also added. According to the statement, the administration believes such institutions seek to limit U.S. independence. These organizations actively seek to constrain American sovereignty, Rubio said. He added that their operations are supported by interconnected elite networks. Their work is advanced by the same elite network to multilateral end goal that we have begun to dismantle through the closure of U.S., the Secretary of State said. Alright, this is where we are bringing today's news to an end. You can follow us on our Facebook platform for more information. We are on TikTok, Instagram, all on Alayo Radio TV. I am Elebute Oluwatoyin. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon.